Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Virtual Coffee Break with Tanisha. Let me know what city and state you are checking in. Go to the chat. I want to hear from you. Loud and proud. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Go ahead and go to the chat. Let me know what city and state you are checking in from so I can shout you out. I have a great topic for everyone today. So get ready. Make sure you have your pen and paper because you definitely want to take some copious notes today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, Angie, checking in from Alabama. Roll Tide. I love it. I love it. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend and a great Thanksgiving. Are you still eating leftovers, Angie? Yesterday was a day to put everything in the freezer. I was like, okay, I'm done. Never thought I'd be done with eating mac and cheese and collard greens and yams, but yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough. All right, it is 12 o'clock. We are going to go ahead and get started. So I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today. I have a great topic to share with everyone. Welcome, welcome. We got Wanda Gilmore checking in from Gainesville, Florida. Well, welcome, Wanda. So happy to have you join us. Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, everyone. Go ahead. If you are joining us live on YouTube, go ahead and type in your city and state. I want to shout you out. Let us know where you are checking in from. We have Miss Karen Rush checking in from Detroit, Michigan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Bethany. We got Bethany checking in from the DMV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to see you. Hey, Shamika. We got Shamika joining us. How you doing?
Hey, gorgeous.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
For
How are
those
you?
of you that are in the chat, I just posted the link. If you want to join us on stage, go ahead and just click the link. Super happy. Hey, Jean. We got Jean checking in from Dallas. And we have Deborah checking in from New Oxford, Pennsylvania. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, Shamika, how was your Thanksgiving and what was on the menu? And did you cook?
It was good, and yes, I did cook.
You did?
I
What'd you
had
cook?
I had a little spread. I
Nice.
roasted some chicken, dressing, macaroni, collard greens,
Oh, you
a
eating it.
strawberry cheesecake, 7-layer salad, yams. So, how about
I
you? Did
love
you cook?
Nope. No, ma'am, I did not. So for a few years now, my family and I, well, we started out with going out to eat. We did that a couple of times, but then we were like, yeah, don't want to necessarily go out. So what we did was now we cater it. Now we cater it. A couple of times we used Cracker Barrel, but this time a couple of times we had a chef cook. But it's so nice. So my family used to get on me because I would spend too much time in the kitchen. Right. I'm very, very anal when it comes to my kitchen. So I'm always wiping, cleaning, washing. They were like, would you come sit down? And it's like my spirit just can't rest until the kitchen is the way it was before Thanksgiving happened. So when we by catering the event, that's just less time that I'm in the kitchen. And I thought it would result in not a whole bunch of leftovers, but yeah. Because people who said they were going to come to Thanksgiving didn't come to Thanksgiving. So I still had a lot of leftovers. But it's all good. Miss Karen, how are you?
Blessed and highly favored, just
I
like
know
you,
that's right.
director.
I know that's right. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was marvelous because I spent it in Morocco.
Ooh,
Woohoo!
Morocco. That is awesome. Was that your first time there?
My first time, and definitely will not be my last.
Okay. So
It
what
was
was the
so wonderful.
experience like and what did you like best about it?
Well, my experience was just absolutely not what I expected. I had been watching YouTube videos trying to prepare myself for it, but the live thing is the real thing. It did not, I mean, I didn't see anything what they were saying. They were saying it was going to be like stray dogs around. I saw more cats than I saw dogs, but the culture was just so enriching. And it was just so humbling to be there and to be able, and our tour guide, we went through Globus tours. Our
Hmm.
tour guide was amazing. He just talked nonstop about, he knew so much about the country and the different cities that we went to. And it was such an educational experience. I met a lot of people. It was 44 of us on the tour bus. We stayed in 3 different hotels. It was just amazing. I'm just, everybody needs to go to Morocco at least once.
I
Everybody just
love
needs to
it.
travel, and the connections that are made there. Being a travel business owner, I'm telling people this is awesome. So many people on that trip booked their own trip. They went through
Wow.
Globus, but they booked their own trip. I'm like, you mean you're not getting a commission for it? You're not? And
Right.
you do
Right.
this all the time? You're the booker for your family and your friends? Yeah, I got another trip going 2 weeks from now. We're going somewhere else. I got a lot of retired people. A lot of people are this families. We had 4 children. What experience for them. I wish I
Yeah.
could have taken my children when they were like 10 for, no, not 10, 10, 8, and like, I think the oldest one was like maybe 12. But I did a comment. I wanted to hear their take from their perspective as a child going to
Right.
all this. And it was just wonderful. I just had a good time. And
That is
Thanksgiving, I didn't miss any turkey. I didn't miss, because the food was fantabulous.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm so glad you had a great time. Welcome everyone who just joined us. Hey, Mr. Berg. Hey, Kimon.
Hey,
How
Mr.
you
Bird.
doing? How you doing? Hey, Martina. I see you. I see you. If you are in the chat, I did post a link if you want to join us on stage. We have a great, great topic. But before we get into the topic, anybody do anything that we can celebrate? Or did everybody get caught up in the holidays? That is the question. Did you do anything that we can celebrate, or did you get caught up in the holidays, just spending time with family?
Nope, I didn't get any in the holidays because I forgot it was a holiday. I was prospecting during the whole trip.
I know
I
that's
got
right.
so many names and numbers. I got people in Chicago and your town, Shamika. I've got
Mhm.
people. I told her, listen, I'm going to be there next week, so we're going to hook up. I'm
I
coming for
love
the
it.
Midwest Conference, so I've got people from Pittsburgh. I'm like, oh yeah, we got people there. I know a director that lives there. Oh, I can hook you up. I mean, it was so many people to just talk. And the fact that they're traveling already, you don't have to convince them to travel. All I had to convince them to be a business owner and to go ahead. And I don't even have to convince them to do that. I mean, the videos just kind of spoke for themselves, and they saw how much fun we were having. We were the only, my group, it was me, Arthetis went, and she's not going to be on here today probably because she had an eye appointment. Arthetis, myself, another, and two other business partners of mine. We were the only black people in the group. So of course they were like flocking to us because we brought the flavor and
right. But that energy, I love it. I love it. That is so awesome. Yeah, Morocco's definitely a place that is on my list. Definitely want to check out Morocco. Mr. Burke, you ready to go to Morocco?
Yeah, Mr. Burke, do it. Wait till you see my pictures. You'll be wanting to go.
That's awesome. I want to experience everything. I think
everything.
You know what I mean? At least to be able to go to every place, be like, yeah, I've been there. And then if you don't like it, you're like, yeah, I've been there. I wouldn't want to go back, but at least I've been there.
At least you've been there. It's a whole big world out there. That's why I was telling people. It's more than just Florida people in the north. You know, people are in the north, they want to go to Florida because it's warm. It's hot and warm. It was 80 degrees all week last week. And I came back to Michigan, to Detroit, to snow. I'm like, what? I want to go back to Morocco.
I know that's right. I see Boss Lady. She said, I did follow up with a few people, but I was under the weather. Well, we're praying for Godspeed healing for you. Hope you get well soon. Welcome, Benita. Welcome. Lorna said she completed her virgin and royal trainings. Woo-hoo. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations, Lorna. That is fantastic. I love it. Kimon says she got her peak cards and she has been prospecting. I love it. Good job. That's what I'm saying. It's all about working your business, right? Again, as I always say, you don't have to go out to prospect, but prospect while you're out. You're coming across people all the time who absolutely, they travel or they're looking for ways to make extra income. And so let's segue into our topic for today, which I'm super, super excited about, because today we are going to be talking about 8 tips for prospecting a green personality. We've been doing this series. We've talked about the yellows. We've talked about prospecting the blues. But today we are going to prospect the greens. Can anybody tell me the characteristics of a green?
Data analysis. That's what I think
they
about.
hear the word data, they get excited, right? They like data. They like analyzing. Anybody else?
Yeah, logical, analytical, spreadsheets, Word documents.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Anybody else?
They like facts and statistics.
They like facts. They absolutely love the facts. Martina said that's her husband. Guess what, Martina? That's my husband too. he's getting a little bit more red now for sure, right? Boss Lady said organized, deep thinkers. Yep, very true, very true. Lawanda said they love numbers. Yes, they do. Show them the numbers and they are extremely happy, right? Another fun fact, or funny fact, I should say, about greens, sticky notes. A lot of them might be color coordinated. They love their highlighters. They're going to highlight certain information in orange, other types of information in green, right? Other information in yellow, another information, they're going to use their blue highlighters, right? They got notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks. That's another thing about green. Anybody on here green besides Mr. Andrew Burke? Someone on Facebook said, that's me. Who's that put that to me? I can't see your name. It just says Facebook user. But yeah, those are all the characteristics of a green. So when prospecting a green personality type in network marketing who loves facts, figures, and details, it's essential to tailor your approach to their specific preferences. So here are 8 tips to help you effectively engage and connect with them. Okay, Deborah, I see you. Kimon says she has green tendencies. And here's the thing, all of us have some of these colors in us, but what's your dominant color is going to be the question. Oh my goodness. Boss Lady says she has so many notebooks, she needs a closet for them. All right, green. Lorna says she researches everything to death before making a decision. Yeah. And so that's why the tips that I'm going to share with you today are going to be helpful, because you don't want your green prospect spending a ton of time, making a decision. We got to give them what they want, right? Give the people what they want. So here are the 8 tips. Number 1, be prepared with data. I think that goes without saying, right? Be prepared with data. Green personality types are analytical and love facts and figures. Arm yourself with accurate and relevant data about your product, its benefits, and the market. This will demonstrate your knowledge and credibility. So, what types of things can you do in our business to have this data prepared? Well, number 1, study the comp plan. Study the comp plan and keep up with the statistical data of both the marketing side and the travel side, right? So, what are some of the statistical data that we know so far, right? Well, on the marketing side, on the travel side, we have 2 billion paid out in commissions. On the marketing side, 2 million paid out in commissions to the reps. And IntelliTravel has 300 billion booked in travel. We have 97 active agents. Like, those things are the types of data that we can share with our greens, all right? They're going to love that information. Yep, Kimon, you nailed it right there, right? You definitely want to share the data. Number 2, highlight the specifics. Highlight the specifics. When presenting your opportunity or product, focus on the detailed features and benefits that are important to them. Explain how your offering solves problems, saves time, or improves efficiency. Use real-life examples and case studies to illustrate your points. So here's the thing. In order for you to be able to use real-life examples, guess what you got to do? Show up and plug in, or else you won't know, right? Plug in so you can hear real life stories. If you're brand new in the business, right, you don't know anything. You don't even have a story for yourself yet, because you just started, right? Your story is being developed. But when you plug in, you get to hear the testimonies and the stories, right? You get to meet other people and have conversations and learn about their backgrounds, right? So plug in so you can hear real life stories and use your ITA product and get certification so you can share your personal experiences about it, right? If you get, your certification and a certain supplier or whatever, go on a trip, because then you can talk about what you learned and then talk about what you experience, right? Now, Kay has an amazing real life story that she gets to share, and greens are going to love to hear her story about her recent trip to Morocco, right? I just completed my Virgin Voyages certification, so I was able to do a post in my travel group talking about how Virgin's my new favorite cruise brand. And I haven't even been on it yet, right? And I listed out 10 reasons why they need to book their next cruise with Virgin Voyages and included my link, right? So again, being able to, share this information. Deborah said, Andy is all the facts I needed to see. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, Nubian Cutie. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. But yeah, you definitely want to highlight the facts, right? And you have to be there in order, you have to have this information to share with them. You can't just fly by the seat of your pants with these greens, right? Because remember, they're like the new fact checkers. Right? Your greens are going to do their research. That's their favorite line. I got to do my research, right? Well, guess what? You want to give them the facts so that there's nothing else to research, right? So let's go on to number 3. Use logical reasoning. Use logical reasoning. Green personalities appreciate logical arguments and rational thinking. Present your information in a logical sequence, highlighting cause and effect relationships. Explain how the numbers and details support your claim. Now, if you are a blue, these are probably some of the things you don't like talking about. But if you want to sign up that green, you're going to have to get real comfortable with making logical and rational, having logical and rational conversations with the green, right? You have to, with the green, especially with our business here in travel, is show them how it makes sense to start their own travel business if they're already booking travel. Because it's logical. If you're going to spend the money and get that confirmation and take the trip anyway, doesn't it just make sense to come home to a commission check? If you're going to be booking travel for your friends and family, doesn't it make sense to get paid for it? If you're trying to save money and keep Uncle Sam out of your pocket, doesn't it just make sense to start a home-based business so you can have some tax advantages? Because that's who the taxes were designed to help, the business owners, not the employees. Right? So you have to have these conversations with them, right? Again, explain how the numbers, details support your claim, right? Talking about how, during the pandemic, we were able to book $2 million worth of travel every single week throughout the pandemic, right? Those are facts. Those are facts, right? But again, if you do not plug in, you're not going to know these facts. All right. Deborah said, if you give me mixed information, I will disengage fast. Right. And that is why, notice when I said this, I said, present your information in a logical sequence. Because yes, if you're throwing stuff from the left, throwing stuff from the right, they are going to disengage. But if it's a logical sequence of, oh, you have the concept, you want to go on a trip. Okay, well, you can go on Expedia and book it and get a confirmation, or start a home-based business and book it and get the confirmation and a commission check. But notice it's starting with, oh, you're thinking about taking a trip. Well, now you're going to do this, and then you're going to do that. And as a result, you're going to get this. As opposed to just hitting them with facts and information from the left, from the right, you will lose people with that. You will lose people. And remember, a lot of times in the very beginning, when you're first meeting someone, you may not know what color they are. So you got to be careful with what you're saying. Because again, if you're meeting that blue person and you start talking about these facts and figures, they're going to be turned off. Right? So it's super, super important to make sure that you engage, build rapport with people so you can figure out what color they are, and then you're going to know what to say to them. Anybody have any comments, feedback on this? No comments or feedback yet? All right.
I have a question, Director. So you were saying about, and this is kind of where I struggle with, but I know it's the more I talk to people, I can find out their colors. Do you have any tips about what you just said about finding out their color before you start assuming they're green or assuming they're blue because they're at a party with you, or, assuming that they're red because, they're dressed a type of way or whatever. You don't want to assume, but
Mhm.
but that's going to guide how you talk to them. Do you have any tips about finding that out about the color?
Yes. So you want to use the formed
Yeah,
technique.
yeah.
FORMD. When you meet a new person, you want to ask them questions. So F stands for family.
Mm-hmm.
O stands for occupation. You want to find out what they do for a living, right? R stands for recreation, right? What do they like to do for fun? M stands for motivate. What motivates them? And the new letter is D. What is their dreams?
Dream, yes.
So those are the types of questions that you want to ask a stranger, as you're engaging with them. Those are the questions that you want to ask to get answers to. And based on that, it's going to give you a little bit more intel to what color they are, right? So, for example, as you take someone through that process, Karen, and they tell you that they're a nurse, chances are they're what?
Yellow.
There you go. If they tell you they're an accountant, chances are
Green.
right? If they tell you that, they're an event coordinator or a DJ, or chances are,
Blue.
right? If they tell you they are the CEO of this or the director of that, or chances are,
Red.
see?
Easy peasy, Mr. Squeezy.
You just answered your own questions,
I
right?
did. I do
So,
that, but I forgot.
yeah, so you just want to use the formed technique to be able to get some data to be able to
Yes.
figure out what type of what color they are. Yeah. Any other questions before we move on, or comments? The other thing is, when you're using logical reasoning, talk about the multiple promotions that have occurred, especially during the pandemic. Right? We had a lot of people not just join the business, but then we have a lot of people get promoted and hit director during the pandemic, right? So it's good to talk about that. Also, talk about having residual income to help pay residual bills. That is another fact that you want to share with greens, right? Because again, it has to be logical. Well, you have residual bills, you should have residual income, right? That makes sense to a green. That they can chew on that and be like, yeah, I agree. That makes perfect sense, right? All right, moving on. Number 4, provide evidence. Provide evidence. Back up your claims with concrete evidence. Share testimonials, studies, and research that validate the effectiveness or benefits of your product. Green personality types are more likely to be persuaded by solid evidence rather than emotional appeals. I'm going to read that again because some of y'all need to hear that, because you keep begging people to join your business. Right? Provide evidence. Back up your claims with concrete evidence. Share testimonials, studies, and research that validate the effectiveness or benefits of your product. Green personality types are more likely to be persuaded by solid evidence rather than emotional appeals. I've seen, anybody else see several, and this happens kind of throughout the year in our business. News outlets have interviewed like James Ferrara, and they'll post that in the group. talking about the travel industry. That's the type of stuff that Greens would appreciate. Because now it's somebody outside of you validating our industry. Right? Another thing is providing concrete evidence. The Planet's facts page website, right? That's the facts. There's a timeline, what we've accomplished from year to year to year to year. Greens are going to love that. So sharing that website with them, right up their alley. Another, leverage the 2023 Planet Project Freedom video. Again, that's where they're going to get the testimonials from. And then you have Eric Thomas validating our business, our company, right at the very end. He says we're going to change the world. So you have the number one speaker, motivational speaker in the country, validating our company right at the end of that video, right? So you have your testimonials there with the Planet Facts page. You have your data, your research, any type of awards, that IntelliTravel has gotten. We get awards all the time. So, but again, if you're not paying attention, if you're not in that, in our IntelliTravel group where they post those types of things, then how are you going to have that information to share? This is why you have to, even if you're focused, this is why I say, even if you're focused on building, and this goes for any network marketing company. I don't care what company you're in, right? Because you have your marketing side and you have your product side. I don't care what you're selling. It doesn't matter, right? The thing is, even if your focus is building, you got to have your finger on the pulse of your product. You can't just recruit, but you can't speak anything about your product because you're not interested in your product. And I often share the story how, even though I've been in our company for 7 years, for the first 6, I did not focus on the travel side. I was focused on building, but I kept my finger on the pulse of the travel side. I had certifications. I went to ITQ. I went to CLIA 360. Like, you couldn't tell me that I didn't know my product. I went to the trainings, the webinars, had my Dream Maker, had my Vacation Builder, all of those things. I just wasn't promoting book with me, book with me, book with me. I was promoting more partner with me, partner with me, partner with me, right? But I could speak very intelligently about our product because I was a product of the product and I participated in the training, right? I just put more out there what I was looking for. I'm looking for partners, not clients. Right? So it doesn't matter what company you're in. You got to know your product. You have to be engaged in your product. All right. Moving on to number 5. Oh, somebody needs help with this. Just say ouch or amen if this is you. Avoid hype and exaggeration. Avoid hype and exaggeration. Green personalities value accuracy and dislike exaggerated claims or hype. Present your information in a straightforward and factual manner. Be transparent about any limitations or potential drawbacks of your offering. This one is hard for some people because some people feel like if they don't make it sound like it's all rainbows and unicorns, that the person's not going to sign up with you. And that could not be further from the truth. To be honest with you, if you present the business as it's all rainbows and unicorns, that's going to raise suspicion. You know what they're going to say? Oh, that's too good to be true. That's what they're going to say. And so they're not going to partner with you because they're automatically thinking, scam, something's not right with this. Really? There's no drawbacks? Really? That's what you're saying? That's what we going with? And it's not true. Now, would I say we have what would the drawback be? Very simple. It's called network marketing. If you don't work, you won't get paid. That's a drawback. This business is not for lazy people. This business is not for people with a negative mindset. Right? So think about some of the challenges that you've come across. I know one of the big challenges for a lot of people, especially in the beginning, is, and here's the thing, you'll get this question from a green a lot of times. If you ask them if they have any questions, they'll say, what is your biggest challenge? What would you say is your biggest challenge in this business? Right? They want, because they're looking for the drawback. And so you have to have an answer. Don't say, oh, there's no challenges. Really? Now how come you're not at your next promotion? Right? They want to know what the challenges are. For me in the beginning, it's wanting people to win more than they were willing to do the work to win. You see greatness in them, but they don't see it in themselves. That is so frustrating, especially as a leader. You see someone has director potential, they have great, leadership skills, they have a great network, but they just don't believe in themselves enough to do the work. Right? So again, oh, I love this. Right? Signing is great, staying is better. Right? We could get you in, but can we keep you in? Ooh, Benita said, ouch. Uh-huh. That's why I said, say ouch or amen. No work, no net. I like that one, Kimon. Kimon, I'm stealing that one. I'm gonna give you credit the first time I use it. No work, no net. But yeah, we have to avoid and here's our thing. Our product, especially in travel, is so amazing. We don't have to exaggerate it. We don't have to exaggerate it. And here's the other thing. The less you hype it and you're kind of almost nonchalant about whether the person joins or not, the more they want to join. This is why sometimes we got to take it away. It may or may not be for you. I love using that line. All right, Mr. Burke said, once you get in, what type of lion are you? Exactly. You got to hunt over here. Right? So that's another thing that, you kind of want to share that could be a potential drawback. This is the jungle. If you don't hunt, you don't eat. This is not the zoo where you just show up and they feed you at 12 o'clock. You got to go get it. You got to go kill it. Right? So if it's not true, don't say it. And just stick to the facts, please. Everybody should be using the note section of their phone. When you're on these meetings and calls and stuff, just have a little section where you have these facts. Know where we are. Know that we're at 97,000. Know that we've booked 3 billion. Know that we've paid out 200 million on the marketing side to the reps, right? Know these facts. Because if you have a green, those are the types of things that are going to move them. Talking about our educational trips is not going to do it. That might be what excites you, but that's not what excites a green. Taking trips. They want to know about facts and figures. The income disclosure statement. That is something else you want to share with the green. Because then they can see the money, right? All right, number 6. Answer their questions thoroughly. Answer their questions thoroughly. Green personalities tend to ask a lot of questions and seek detailed information. So sometimes these green 3-way calls, you ain't gonna get in and out in 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Sometimes it might go an hour. If they're real green, you're gonna be on there for a minute, right? So be patient and take the time to answer their questions comprehensively. Keyword, underline that. If you're green, highlight it. Comprehensively. You can't be in and out with the questions with a green. They're going to need some background with it. Provide additional resources or references if needed to satisfy their thirst for knowledge. I'm going to read that again. You want to answer their questions thoroughly. Green personalities tend to ask a lot of questions and seek detailed information. Be patient and take the time to answer their queries comprehensively. Provide additional resources or references if needed to satisfy their thirst for knowledge. I can't stress enough how important it is to use the PS3. It is so critical to use the third-party validation with a senior documented business partner who can answer their questions thoroughly. So a lot of you are messing up with your prospect because you maybe didn't pick up on the fact that they were green and you still fairly new, still learning, and you trying to talk to them yourself. And you don't have enough experience and history and documentation in order to satisfy their thirst for knowledge. And that's where you're screwing up. Just follow the PS3. Stop trying to talk to them. Pique their interest, show them the plan, and get them on the phone with a senior business partner. Because you don't have you haven't been in the business long enough. You don't have the documentation to talk to a green. That's going to have a lot of questions and they want a detailed response, a comprehensive response. They want to know, can I make, what kind of money can I make? Can you break that down comprehensively? That's going to require you breaking down a compensation plan and providing some facts and figures to back it up. Can you do it? Not if you're new, you can't. If you've been in a while, hit directorship. Because one thing about compensation plans, and this is across the board, I don't care what business you're in, and I've been in several of them, you don't truly understand how you make the money until you actually make the money. Right? You understand the $50 direct sale commission when you sell an ITA and boom, $50 is direct deposit in your account. You understand that part, right? But you don't comprehend the 50% check match until the person you bring somebody in and you get that $25. Then you're like, oh, now I see how I got that $25. Right? You don't understand the team bonuses until you hit Goal Builder and you start seeing those $10 coming in. You don't get it. And then you really don't get it until the person you brought in hits gold. And then you wondering, where my $10 at? Oh, I don't get it anymore. Oh, because they got it. Oh, you don't understand a comp plan until you start making the money and seeing where the money comes from. So you got to be careful when your prospect is agreeing and you trying to do everything yourself instead of using the PS3 and allowing the senior business partner to do it. I mean, it is what it is. Thank you, Stormy. Stormy said, facts don't repeat what you've heard your senior business partner says when you haven't learned or experienced. Exactly. So super, super important. Do not self-sabotage your business by not having that third-party validation. That is so critical for the greens. And that could be the very reason for why you're not closing these people. It's because you trying to talk. So Lorna says, how do I respond when a prospect gets intrusive and needs to hear how much I'm making? They shouldn't be asking you that question if you're following PS3. It's very simple. And depending on the scenario, let's say, for example, it's an in-person scenario. What you want to do is say, you know what? That's a great question. When are you available for a call, so I can go over the compensation plan with you and show you how I make my money? Because telling you what I make isn't going to help you make it. I need to show you how to make it. Right? But again, if you're piquing their interest, showing them the plan, and then on the follow-up saying, after having looked at that information, is it something you're interested in learning more about? And they say yes, your next question should be, when are you available for a call? Very simple. So that I can get all your questions answered. So they're going to get their questions answered. But Lorna, if they get their questions answered by a director who's actually making the money and breaking down that comp plan, it doesn't really matter how much you are making. I mean, and don't be afraid to say, I just got started. However, the company's only 8 years old and we have 3 millionaires and over 91 six-figure income earners. And I'm working, my mentor, my coach is in the top 1% of income earners in the company. I can get you on the phone with them and they can help break down the compensation plan so you can see how much money is on the table for you to make. And would y'all believe some people don't join this? Some people join this business and it's not for the money. There's that too. Right? So I hope that answers your question, Lorna. Yep. I understood the comp plan when I began to build my team. Yeah, until you're like actually making the money, it's kind of hard to understand. All right. All right. So good. Thank you, Lorna, for that confirmation.
Can I just piggyback on that, what Lorna just said about the making the money? About a couple of years ago, director Bernard Hampton, flew from Florida to Detroit to help us build our team here. And he was in my living room and he actually showed me, he was showing me the matrix part, and it was like, it just clicked when I just actually, I mean, it was in my back office, it's all the time there. I just, didn't really understand it until he showed me these people. And then I saw as they paid their $60 or their $39 a month, that $4 was attached to them. And it was showing it. And I was like, oh my God, that really adds up. That's where I knew where it came from, but I didn't know where it came from, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
But to actually see it, and then I just start showing it and showing the people, look at your back office, look at that, look at these. And they said, well, it doesn't. I said, well, you have to remember, people get in the business at different times of the month. But by the end of that month, all of those $4 are going to add up to a check on the 10th.
Right.
And it just made sense when you see it and understand it, and it makes it real to you. So when you're talking to people about how the money is made and how the love from above comes, and because some of those people were not in it. Most of the people in my group, and they're in their matrix because I was a builder. I came in building. So yeah, seeing it and understanding it makes it better. But what I do, I guess I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but what I don't understand is, that was a private thing. But when we show it on, we're not supposed to be showing. When people ask you about your money, you don't tell people what you make on your job. Why do people feel that they have the right to ask you that here? But what I don't like, when people actually go in the business presentation and pull up their back office and show them That's not something we should be doing, right?
Yeah, there is. I've done it before in the beginning. I don't, when you know better, you do better.
Right.
I'll
I
just
feel
say
like
that
it's
when
more
you know better,
aligned.
you do better.
You do better, right?
And I wouldn't say on a public presentation, but you might be having a one-on-one, for example, with someone who's been in the industry for a while, who understands back offices and stuff, and they may want to see it, That's going to be between you, whether or not you want to show, or you could just defer to the income disclosure statement. Because now you're showing what people made, but you're showing it at every
On the
level. This is
average,
what it
right.
looks like, right? So that's going to be a better, when someone wants to see, well, how much you are making, say, let me show you the income disclosure statement so I can show you how much everybody's making.
Right.
At every level, right? So you're still answering their question, but now you're also backing it up with documentation.
Yes.
Right? So
Good.
that's another part of it as well. People want to see how much money you're making. You know what? That's a great question. How much money I'm making? Let me do you one better and show you how much everybody is making at every level. Okay. The other thing, this is just a little side note. A lot of people miss with our comp plan. They think they're going to get that $4 bill the first month.
Nope.
It's going to come the second month. The $4 bill comes from the $39.95 that people pay every month. So when they pay their $39.95 to keep their travel agency going, that is when the $4 will come to you and not before. Hey, Beverly. She said, I see the money coming in to my back office and I see the money. You are right. I didn't understand until the money started to come. $10 team bonuses, $4 residual. Yep. You got to see it to understand where it's coming from, for sure.
You're right.
Sure. All right. So moving on. Oh, let me go back. I didn't even finish reading. Where are we at? What number were we on? Okay, let's go to number 7. So we talked about answering their questions thoroughly, right? All right. So number 7, use visuals. Use visuals. While green personalities appreciate facts and figures, they may also benefit from visual aids. Use graphs, charts, and infographics to present information in a visually appealing and easy to understand format. Visuals can help reinforce your message and make complex data more digestible. I can tell you, for me, as a brand new business person, the first time I went to a meeting and they got to that comp plan with the matrix, I was lost. Too many numbers, too many columns. A lot of people explain it in a more complicated manner than some other people would explain it. It's too much. And so your average person looking at a comp plan and a business presentation, they're not going to get it that first time, right? And so you may need to have some type of visual or something like the income disclosure statement, right? So whereas our matrix slide kind of goes into, people break it down with bronze, silver, gold, and then you see the whole thing. And some people are just like, analysis paralysis. You lost me. As soon as you put the slide up, I was lost, right? But another visual that might be a little bit easier may be the income disclosure statement. Just show them, hey, at this level, this was the average amount that the person made. That's a little bit easier, right? I like to use the T plan compensation part chart that Michelle I put together, right? And it shows these streams of income from the travel side, these streams of income from the marketing side. I like to use that because it's so much simpler to break down than the actual slide from the presentation, right? And that's something that you can create too. All right. So there's other things. Again, I love the Planet Facts website because you can screenshot something from there to help break some things down to show as a visual, right? And then, of course, we have, I will say, our videos are really, really good. The big picture video is really, really thorough, right? So the big picture video kind of breaks down the compensation plans for both sides in a less, what's the word I want to use? Intimidating way than looking at, let's say, for example, the matrix. All right, so let's see here. One moment.
Just wait 1 minute. Does Skylar have on a diamond collar?
She does.
Oh, glory be to God. Now that's that. Now see, that's living your life like you're golden. That's what I'm talking about. That's what this business will do to you. See, I'm telling you that
She bougie like her mama.
she bougie like her mama. Come on now, Diamond. I love it, Skylar. I love it. Skylar is a rock star. Somebody has said Skylar is a rock star. Skylar is a rock star.
She is. She is, except when she's barking and I'm trying to do a live, right? So anyway, let's get back to it. So again, using the income disclosure statement is going to be good. Slides from other Planet or IntelliTravel presentations, or like the comp plan T-chart. Something that's going to make it a little bit easier than actually seeing, again, that matrix slide. Did anybody understand the comp plan when they saw the matrix slide, or am I the only one that got analysis paralysis when you seen that for the first time in the presentation, right? And honestly, it took several people explain. I had to go to several business presentations and hear different people break down the matrix before I understood it. Didn't understand. Okay, I'm so glad I am not the only person. All right. Benita said, nope, I didn't get it. Stormy said, nope, I didn't get it. The only thing I did understand was that there was a lot of money to be made.
And to don't quit because it's going to build.
Exactly. Shamika said,
I heard you say that a lot of people explain it a lot of different ways. The way that really kind of made me understand it more was when they used the theater example. And I guess by me being in theater and stuff about that seats, the first row, and then the second row, how many people are sitting behind each person in the second row. And there's $4 attached to everybody because everybody has to pay $4 for their ticket to get into that theater and to have one of those seats. That was the thing that kind of made it started to be more realistic to me.
And you know what? When I heard that, it confused me more. I did. It confused me more. I had to start receiving the $4 bills in my bank account before for me personally, before I understood how they got there. Because I actually did the work and then I saw the fruit from that labor. So that's when it kind of clicked for me. But again, use visuals for greens. Greens are going to be good. So you got to have those in your arsenal, is basically what I'm saying. You got to have that in your toolbox of, okay, if I have a yellow, I need to have this in my toolbox. If I have a blue, I need to have this in my toolbox. If I have a green, I need to have this in my toolbox, right? So having those visual aids, whatever that's going to be for you, just make sure you have it in your toolbox so that when you have that green, you're able to, boom, give them what they need. All right. And last but not least, number 8, follow up with additional information. Follow up with additional information. after your initial presentation or conversation, provide follow-up materials that contain more detailed information. This could include white papers, reports, or links to relevant articles. By providing additional resources, you demonstrate your commitment to supporting their thirst for knowledge. So, what things could we provide with agreeing after the call? How about the link to the Planet Facts website? Right? How about the compensation video done by Mr. Bradley? How about the income disclosure statement? How about the link to your Planet Marketing website? Ta-da! Right? So they can do all the reading and the research they want. They can watch videos, they see the testimonies. I mean, everything is on the website itself. It's such a great wealth of information for agreeing, right? So here's the other thing why it's so important that you provide these additional information to the greens, because if you don't provide it, they're going to go on the internet and look for it. And on the internet, you can find anything to support or discredit whatever subject or topic you're looking for. Right? If you want to go on the internet to find out, does God exist? You're going to find stuff that support that he does. And then you're going to find other stuff that says that he don't. Remember, there's two sides to everything. And so you want to make sure that your prospect is getting the facts from you, not Google. And sometimes some of you are not providing, your prospect is agreeing. You maybe did not realize that they're agreeing. And so you did not provide them additional information for them to research our information. And so they went on the internet and found some disgruntled ex-business partner who thought they were just going to sign up and money was just going to fall from the sky. And so now they're reading up about their miserable experience and they're making their decision based on that. Why? Because you didn't do your part to provide your green prospect with the additional information so that they could research the facts and not just someone's opinion or someone else's experience. Do we have people who have had bad experiences in our business? Absolutely. Absolutely. But isn't that everywhere? Do people not have bad experiences on jobs? Listen, every business is not for everybody. So remember when we talked about number 5, avoid hype and exaggeration. You got to be transparent about any limitations or potential drawbacks of your opportunity. That's one of them, is to basically say, this business is not for everybody. Some people are just meant to be employees. And that's okay. Because what do I say? We need somebody to give us our hot stone massage in the spa. Everybody can't be in the business, right? Some people are just, I need Amazon to still deliver my packages. If everybody was in the business and we had no Amazon drivers, I don't know how I would survive. I must have a box come to my house at least once a week. That's just me. All right. Any questions, comments, feedback? Oh, and let me just end with this, because this is really good. Remember, every individual is unique. And while these tips cater to green personality types, it's essential to adapt and personalize your approach based on the specific preferences and needs of the person you are prospecting. Remember, it's not about you. It's about them. Okay? So write that down. It's not about me. It's about that. All right. Any questions, comments, feedback? All right. So guess what? On Thursday, we're going to talk about the reds, my favorite, my color. All right. So again, I want to thank you all for supporting my channel. Please, if you have not already done so, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm to allow other people to get this information. You'll see that my content for my channel is more universal. It's not just specific to our business. Would you agree that the information that I just shared today could be associated with any network marketing business, any home-based business, any sales business, really, to be honest with you? It's not just, and so I'm tweaking my content to make it more universal to help a lot of people just in business, but kind of specifically network marketing. All right. Because that's my specialty. All right. So thank you all for supporting. I appreciate y'all. I miss y'all. And I will see you on Thursday. Bye, everyone.